Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you are watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. So we've got several massive explosions inside of Russia just in the last 24 hours. If you look here on your screen on the left side, this is Izhevsk. Okay, this is a town that's located about 800 to 1,000 miles deep inside of Russia, past Moscow. Okay, and we had a massive explosion at an ICBM factory. An ICBM stands for International Continental Ballistic Missile. So they produce missiles at this factory, and many of them are hypersonic, and potentially nuclear warheads could be housed at this facility. And there was a massive explosion, as you can see on your screen here. And also on the right side of your screen, this is Perm Krai. So Perm Krai is literally right next to Izhevsk. It's just to the east of Izhevsk. And we also had a pipeline explosion that you can see there in the photo as well. So I've got video footage for each of these that I'm going to be going over with you and showing you. And we also got some articles that talk about these explosions. So these are very mysterious. Not sure if these are related in any way, but the fact that they are right next to each other, very possible that they're related. And we have been seeing a lot of attacks inside of Russia recently, and these are due to drone strikes from Ukraine. Okay, Ukraine has been going after lots of these oil facilities deep inside of Russia and taking out many, many different oil facilities. So, is this a result of Ukraine? I'm not sure. I don't think a drone could go that far into Russia, but very possible this could be some sort of like internal sabotage in the country. So I want to go over this and show you. So here's a video right here that I've got pulled up, and we're going to take a look at this. So this is in Izhevsk at that ICBM facility. So take a look.
Завод какой-то или что? Пиздец, бля. Завод какой-то или что? Пиздец.
Okay, so as you can see there, it's a very short clip, but there's that huge fireball there, and you can hear this from the distance. And these people obviously seemed very concerned. This was recorded by multiple different people. And you can see that this is obviously some sort of explosion going on there for how big that fireball is. So, not sure exactly what's going on, but we'll dive deeper into an article here in just a moment and see if we can figure out what's happening. So, again, yeah, multiple explosions inside of Russia at the moment in the last 24 hours. So, I've got an article pulled up here that we're going to take a look at. This is from the Moscow Times, directly from Russia. Okay, powerful explosions rocks suburb of central Russia's Izhevsk. A powerful explosion rocked the suburbs of the city of Izhevsk in central Russia on Wednesday night, with state-run media reporting that the blast occurred at a machine and missile production facility. Videos shared on social media showed a large fireball lighting up the night sky over the testing grounds of the Votkinsk machine building plant in the village of Yagul, located just outside the Republic of Udmurtia's capital city, some 1,000 kilometers east of Moscow. So again, this is way deep into Russia. I really don't think this is from like a drone or anything like that. But what I will note is that we had Dmitry Medvedev, former president of Russia, come out recently and warn that if Ukraine were to attack any of their missile sites, any of their missile launch sites, and this could be one of them considering they house missiles here, that they would launch a nuclear strike on Ukraine. Okay, so obviously no evidence as of yet that this was Ukraine causing this, but let's go ahead and continue reading. So the state-run TASS news agency, citing an anonymous emergency dispatcher, reported that the explosion was part of a planned rocket test. It was a rocket engine test. It wasn't an emergency, the source was quoted as saying. Udmurtia's local branch of Russia's Emergency Situations Ministry wrote on the Telegram messaging app that no emergencies were reported No socially significant incidents occurred. The Vokyansk machine building plant is part of Russia's state space corporation Roscosmos. The plant produces goods for civilian use, but also for the Russian military, such as Iskander, Topol M, and Yars missiles. So I know the Iskanders are like can be the hypersonic missiles that Russia has. These are the ones that fly extremely fast at a very difficult to shoot down angle. So these are supposed to be some of their most powerful missiles that they have in their armory. It also decommissions missiles that are no longer intended for use. So they're claiming here that this was not an emergency, this was more of a rocket engine test. To me, in that video, that doesn't really look like a rocket engine test. If you look there in that picture, that's a pretty massive fireball. And something that I thought about was if they're claiming that this was a rocket engine test, why are the people that are filming it, why do they seem very confused and very worried. You know, if this was something that was normal to be going on over there and they frequently did rocket engine tests, don't you think the people wouldn't be concerned? Why were they filming this as if this was the first time they had ever seen that? Now, do they do rocket engine tests all the time? I'm not sure, but it was just something that I was speculating, that I was wondering myself and thinking, why are these people why do they seem so concerned by this if this is something that should be a normal thing that's going on? And was there any kind of warning sent out to the citizens? Probably not. But definitely seems very strange. And just the fact that we've seen so many explosions inside of Russia lately, that's what makes me think that this was possibly an emergency. Something may have happened in that facility. Maybe there was a sabotage, or maybe it was just a freak accident. Who knows? But the fact that we had this explosion in Izhevsk, and then just not too much longer later, just hours later, we had in Perm Krai here, we had this other explosion that I'm going to be showing you here as well. So let's look at this one. This is a pipeline explosion. And this is not the first time we've seen a pipeline explosion. There has been multiple pipelines explosions that I've seen throughout Russia over the last year. So let's look at this one as well. Okay, so part of that video doesn't have sound, obviously, just towards the end there when you hear the fire burning. So um, this supposedly when this pipeline exploded, it caught fire to a freight train that was nearby, and like three rail cars exploded and caught on fire. And then it spreaded the fire massively even more and supposedly burned down several residential buildings. So, once again, another mysterious fire going on here, and I don't know if this is some sort of sabotage or what this is, but again, we are continuing to see more attacks inside of Russia on their infrastructure, primarily oil. Okay, lots of energy attacks here inside of Russia. So I'm going to be showing you an article here as well in just a moment, and we're going to go over that too because very concerning what's happening here. And again, this attack here on Izhevsk that you see on the left side, if this somehow turns out to be a result of Ukraine doing this, there's very big possibility that Russia is going to respond very aggressively. Okay, not sure if they would ever launch a nuclear strike on Ukraine, but very possible that they will respond very aggressively if this was an actual attack from Ukraine inside of Izhevsk. Okay, so I've got this article pulled up here. This is from the Kiev Independent, and note that I had to use the Kiev Independent to get this information for Perm Krai because lots of media outlets are really not reporting on this. But the Kiev Independent out of Ukraine did report this story. So fire breaks out in Perm Krai, injuring six. Okay, this was just February 8th, 2024. Fire reportedly broke out at a gas pipeline near the village of Kuyeda in Perm Krai, Russia, injuring six people, Russian state-controlled media reported on February 8th. Perm Krai Governor Dmitry Makonin said that several houses were on fire in Kuyeda and six people were reportedly injured. Local sources say the fire started following an explosion at a gas pipeline, after which three tanks on a freight train caught fire before spreading to three residential buildings. So, see, it exploded, and then it caught three tanks on fire on a freight train, and then it spread to three residential buildings. Russian telegram channel MASH reported that five people had been hospitalized with burns and one teenager was treated for smoke inhalation. So we had six people that were injured by this fire. The official telegram channel of Russian Railways stated that information about a freight train fire in the area of Kuyeda is not true, and the incident does not relate to railway infrastructure and does not affect the movement of trains. So again, they seem to be downplaying a lot of these events whenever they happen. Like whenever we have these attacks on oil facilities, they seem to just come out right away and be like, you know what, it was a drone strike from Ukraine. They attacked this oil facility. But I've been noticing lately that a lot of these other attacks that are not necessarily oil facilities, like this pipeline explosion and then that explosion there at the ICBM facility, what we see a lot is immediately them downplaying the incident and saying, no, it wasn't really a big deal. There was no emergency, nothing happened. It was just some sort of a test or something minor that was going on. So, for example, we had a warship, the Ivanovets Russian warship, that was attacked by multiple naval drones in the Black Sea just recently. I reported on this like a week ago, and right when it was struck, it got hit multiple times by naval drones and it was sunk. And just hours later, the Kremlin and the Russian medias were not reporting anything on it. They were making no comments about it at all. And even till this day, it hasn't been completely widely accepted by the Russians that this warship was sunk. They really kept this on the down low. So they're trying to really show the people of Russia that they're not really struggling in this war, or they could be possibly losing this war. They don't want to show any signs of weakness. But these attacks are definitely happening inside of Russia all the time. And many times on mainstream media, they're not even being reported, which you would think on mainstream media that they'd be reporting this because it would definitely fit the narrative that Russia is losing technically, right? But they're not doing that. So it's kind of interesting. That's why I call these mysterious, because you really have to pull up some small media companies to find the information on this. But these videos are circulating all over the internet, and it's very, very interesting what's going on here. But again, lots of attacks inside of Russia at this time. But we're going to go ahead and keep an eye on this for more attacks inside Russia. I'm sure we're going to see more oil facilities getting hit. So I will keep an eye on that. And if anything else comes out, I'll definitely update you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider hitting the like button on the video. And if you enjoy my content, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Everybody take care. God bless, and we'll see you later.